more that warrior, masculine energy inside us. So of course, if men were to feel a lot of things, they would never be able to have a war, of course. The war would never happen if they would have empathy with everybody. It couldn't happen. So that was kind of a part of the evolution and what was happening then. But things are different now. And there's also a lot of confusion in the world now, where women is trying to be men and men is trying to be women. So Aries is kind of coming in with that energy that if you don't invite me in, I will kind of be destructive. It's like Kali in Indian mythology. She's very angry if you don't let her in. But if you let her in, she would kind of be of really force in you. So she's also about putting down limits, saying no, getting more into the warrior in you, like the warrior in a man or warrior in a woman. But she's not fighting a war like Mars is fighting. She's not fighting an instinctual fight. She's fighting the war for your soul. So it's something deeper, it's something bigger, it's something that is much more truthful than our just instinct, I want more land or whatever. So, and it's also about our sexuality. She also comes in with a lot of consciousness around our sexuality and how we use it. Do we use it very instinctually to reproduce or to just feel better? Many people use sex for just kind of escaping their problems. You feel better for like 4 seconds and then you fall asleep and everything is okay for a while, and then you wake up and you just do it again and again and again. And Aries is kind of coming in with finding out that who you really are deep inside as a female and as a male, and how you can really understand that sexuality is not just about having sex, it's your life force, it's what you use for everything you do in your life. It's what makes you move, it's what makes you creative, it's what makes you do whatever. And if you kind of just use your life force instinctual all the time, you will kind of be tapped for that life force and you will have less of it, instead of kind of keeping it and trying to work with it with love, instead of letting the animal sit in the driver's seat, the body. There's a lot more to say about all of it, but we have so little time, so just going very fast through it. So the last 2 months, Mars has been retrograding through Sagittarius and Scorpio. And Mars is, as I said, a very instinctual planet. It's the war planet. It's about what we really crave for, but it doesn't mean it's good for us at all. And this started the 18th of April and is going retrograde to the 28th of June. And it's going back to the same place it started retrograding, the 22nd of August. So when a planet is retrograding, it's just an optic illusion, astronomical, but astrological, it has a great effect. So the planet is kind of moving a bit faster, so it looks like it's moving backwards. And when any planet is retrograde, it's about kind of going back to a place you've already been, to kind of re-evaluate things in your life. So when things goes retrograde, you can be in a place where you think, oh, I'm done with that long time ago, and suddenly everything comes back and you're in the same pattern again. So when it's Mars, it's about a more instinctual sides and kind of more animalistic sides of us coming up again. And when it is in Scorpio, it's a lot about our past and also about our subconscious. So you have probably experienced it, all of you, and some more than others. It depends on where it hits in your horoscope. That things are kind of coming up to the surface again. It could be things you experience as a child that you have forgotten about, and suddenly you get glimpses and you remember things that you have kind of pushed down in your subconscious for a long time. You can also don't understand what's going on and get more instinctual reactions of that feeling that is coming up to the surface, and you do things to escape instead, taking a lot of drugs, sleeping all day, getting angry, fighting with your girlfriend or boyfriend, or it could kind of trigger our more darker sides. So it's a lot of things that has happened in the world in that small amount of time, because it's kind of showing people from their baddest places. Their dark sides are coming up. In a good way, if you are conscious, you can really work psychological through your problems and actually get through it for real and let it go and go into a new cycle, renewed and not being kind of burdened by your past. So it goes back the 22 of August, so you still have time to work it through. It's not about that you have to do everything this time, but it's a good time to do it because the universe is kind of helping you to do it and showing you things. So you can experience maybe meeting your ex again, or suddenly getting dreams about your ex, or suddenly you remember somebody, you can meet soulmates from past lives, or everything that's coming from the past is kind of coming up again if there is something that is not solved yet. And it can also be very karmic, not from this life but from other lives. And it can also be about patterns or behaviors. If you kind of used to drink beer every day and you kind of, oh, I'm over that, it's been a year, suddenly you can get the urge to go back to that cycle again in many, many different ways, in cycles that are not healthy for us. It could also be you have more sex than usual, or things like that. But if you really, really use it for something, you can really go into your childhood, things with your father or mother, or things that have been kind of controlling you all life and pushing you into this more unhealthy patterns, because they are there for a reason and they started probably with a feeling. And if you can go into that feeling, you can do something with it. And now it's in Sagittarius, so we can, up until 5 minutes? Yeah, 10, okay. Yeah. Up until the 22nd of August, we will probably experience more fanatism in the energy of Mars. So it could be some big stirrings in the world right now, but at the same time it's happening kind of for a reason, but it's up to us how we use it. And in the year 2020, Jupiter, Pluto and Saturn will be in a conjunction. They will be next to each other. And this is a really, really big thing. It hasn't happened. Last time it was 2866 BC. So it's a long time ago this happened. And every time this happens, they say that we go into a completely different cycle in humanity and in evolution, and we are experiencing completely different chapters in humanity. And also a lot of people are talking about the Christ energy being kind of reborn on Earth again. Every time Jupiter and Saturn meets, we have kind of a new, not leader, but a new inspiration on Earth that is more clean or from the heart. So Christ is not about Jesus or Buddha. It's like an energy that is kind of it goes over the earth. It's kind of something that is around humanity, and it's energy that we can always reach if we go very deep into meditation. We can reach this because our soul is connected with that Christ energy. But sometimes in human evolution, that energy kind of gets born on Earth into an avatar or like a person that is very open and can take in that energy and is supposed to inspire us humans to go deeper into our soul. So if anybody has any questions, just raise your hands. My name is Katarina. This is my web page, an email, Facebook group, and YouTube. YouTube is still in Norwegian, but English is coming. I do personal readings for people all over the world, and we can do that over the internet. I also work with therapeutic yoga, massage, and healing. And I also use astrology in my yoga practice, having something called astro yoga, where we work with the energy that is there right there and then every new and full moon. So that was very fast. It's a lot more we could talk about because it's so much happening right now. But what I want to say in the end is, like, up until the year 2025, we are going through some really tough times as humanity. It's a lot of stirring up, it's a lot of reactions, because every time we are going from one cycle to another, it would always be more of that we are moving away from before we go into something new. So don't lose your kind of belief. I'm still very positive for humanity. I think it's so much wonderful things happening too as a reaction, and yeah, everybody just has to really take responsibility themselves. No questions? No?
Maybe one. So, if I understand you correctly, it will take at least until 2025. It will be maybe more war, more violent. But what about you explained about 2020, that the Christ or the light will maybe reincarnate? So it's like floating into each other. It will get better, but slowly.
Yeah. Well, it's up to us. We have a freedom to choose when we are born as souls. We always have the choice of what we do in life. We can use the energy for something good, or we can fight against it. So we don't really know how we will use it, but the energy of Christ will come down because it is really needed right now. So it's kind of up to us if we're open enough to take in that energy or not. But I think also at the first time, I'm also very into theosophy and esoteric studies, and if you see like the bigger cycles, a lot of times they have happened that humanity doesn't do what they're kind of supposed to do in evolution, and we have this flood or something happens that wash away a lot of people. I think this is the first time this is not happening, because after World War II we actually did a great job. So we kind of jumped very far ahead, and it kind of wasn't expected that we did such a great job then. So hopefully we don't have to do it again.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.